Hey guys, Mrs.Roopa here, and I am beyond excited about our lesson today. We have been focusing on life cycles, the life cycles of various animals. Humans also go through life cycles, but did you know that a star out in space also has a life cycle? That is going to be our topic of today. So let's jump right in because I'm beyond excited. The first stage of a star's life cycle is called a nebula, and this is what a nebula looks like. I think that nebulas look so beautiful. Nebulas are large areas of clouds that are made up of gas and dust, okay? So go out right now and if you can, look up pictures of nebulas because again, they are super beautiful, okay? So gas and dust, we have those two things. Now, when those two things start to spin together, that's the next step of a star's life cycle. It has to spin. And that stage is called a protostar. And this is what a protostar looks like. So a protostar is a gas and dust, and it's spinning and spinning and spinning out in space. Now, in order for the next stage of a star's life cycle to happen, that protostar has to get super hot. In fact, it has to get to 27 million degrees Fahrenheit. And guys, that is extremely hot. So if the protostar gets to that stage and it gets so hot, something called a nuclear reaction happens, and we get to the next stage of a life cycle of a star, which is called the main sequence. And actually, our star, the star of our solar system, the sun, is in the main sequence of a star's life cycle. So here is the picture of a main sequence star. All right. Another fun fact, during this stage, stars have different colors. And those mean different things. So stars that are blue, like this one right over here, those are going to be super hot. Those are super hot stars. And stars that are more of a reddish color, like this one, are actually cooler. That's kind of backwards to me, but I thought that was really interesting and I really wanted to share with you guys. All right, so now, depending on the size of a star, that makes different things happen in this next stage. The nuclear reaction that's happening within the star will begin to slow down at this stage. That's the first step. The second step, the star itself is going to start to cool down, okay? And then the third step is that it is going to start growing larger. Now, remember, when a star starts to cool down, or a cooler star, that color is going to be more of a red color, okay? So if a star is smaller, kind of like our sun, it is going to become a red giant. So smaller stars become red giants. Larger stars become super giant, okay? But both slow down, the nuclear reaction slows down, they start to cool off, and they start to grow large. All three of those things happen with the red giant and with the super giant as well, okay? From here, this is when it gets really, really cool. So this life cycle of the star is starting to kind of fade away in this portion. The next thing that can happen from the supergiant and the red supergiant is that it will turn into a planetary nebula. And you hear the word planet in that, but actually it has nothing to do with it. Scientists, when they were looking out through their telescopes, saw a planetary nebula and thought it looked like a planet. So that's really why it's called a planetary nebula. It's actually just a hot shell of gas that is glowing, okay? Again, doesn't really have to do anything with planets. Okay, and the next step that could possibly happen is a supernova. And a supernova, like this picture over here, is just a really big explosion. And from the pictures that I've seen, it's beautiful. It's just a beautiful explosion, okay? So planetary nebula is an option, or it could explode and become a supernova, all right? Now, this part right here is the very last steps of a life cycle of a star, okay? You have two more options from here. the star could become a neutron star, like this one, okay? And all that means it's just the very core of the star that's left, and it's kind of just a glowing ball out in space. All stars have a core, and the neutron star, that's all that's left. Or you could have a black hole, okay? And a black hole is when the star explodes and then it's just sucked back in on itself through gravity. It's kind of crushed down and then sucked in on itself, okay? So those are the steps of the life cycle of a star. Let's run through them one more time really quickly, okay? Nebula, that's our first step, super beautiful, contains gas and dust, okay? That gas and dust start to spin very fast, and then you have a protostar, okay? Protostar gets super, super hot, 27 million degrees Fahrenheit. Nuclear reaction starts, and then you have a main sequence star like our sun. Blue stars are hot, red stars are super cool, very cool. When you have a smaller star, that star will become a red giant like this one, or larger stars will become a supergiant. Either way, the nuclear reaction slows down, starts to cool off, and the star starts to grow, okay? From here, two things happen. Planetary nebula, just a hot shell of gas, has nothing to do with planets, glows, or supernova, okay? Beautiful explosion. Now, from here, two more things could happen. Neutron star, which is just the core of the star, or black hole, the star explodes and then kind of is crushed in on itself by gravity. So again, super cool. I love adding space whenever possible because it's just, you have so much to learn. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this lesson.